can only imagine the people that are delivering food for everybody right now. I bet they're just I mean, you're not getting out much. I'm trying to decide what's gas prices like right now. I mean, our gas has gone down, but there's still a lot of people driving, so and is it all of California or just kind of your area? Well, I'm just asking away like I have no idea what's going on. My hands got real itchy all of a sudden. No, I'm thinking we're gonna get the clippers after you tomorrow. Does that make you mad? If we just come in and at least get this piece. You look like the shark on my... No clue.
Oh, I know.
Weirdo. My kid, I swear. The Abbey Grange affair. Oh yeah. I had an ex-employee call me today, and so we got a probably January. We got a Cane's chicken in our town, and this kid's worked for me for over a year, and he's still one of the so the way we work it is as you work, every so many hours you level up. You take a test, show that you're more efficient. You know the rules of our company and stuff like that. Well, and we don't force you to take them, but if you want to take them, it's a raise. Well, we finally got to the point where we were telling him, man, you need to take this test. Like, you're working a ton of hours. We're not really asking him to do a lot of stuff, but like he was opening some and counting money, and I mean, he knew how to do everything, but he was still considered like a rookie. He was on the lowest pay scale we have, like somebody who just starts. And he was like, well, I'm afraid to take the test. I'm afraid I'll fail it. And I'm like, well, then you just take it again and you know what's on it. Like, it's not that big a deal. Well, fight with us. Not really fight with us, but just, no, I don't know. So we almost basically force him to take it, and then he doesn't show up. And I basically start telling him, look, normally corporate wide, we would have let you go by now, but you're, and like he's 16, but because he's working, his parents are already making him, like his mom's making him pay for not just help with food, but like pay rent for the house he lives in, like, so he's like, I really need money, but I need a car. I'm like, so he's working a bunch. Well, he got a job at Cane's, and literally the last week, the last paycheck he got from me, he had overtime because he was working so much, which I was okay with because we were shorthanded and he needed the money. Well, then his last 2 shifts, he bailed. He didn't even show up. He calls me today. Hey, it's really slow at Cane's. I'm only working like 2 days. Y'all are always busy. Can I get my job back? I was like, really? Like, unfortunately for him, we have too many people because we're running short staff because we're only working on the drive-through side. But he's like, every time I go by, it's so busy. And I was like, we've hired people.
The game is afoot, not a word.
And he was like, okay, I understand. I was like, we tried to tell you. And when I asked him before, I said, why are you quitting? He goes, I need more money. I was like,
I've just received a
you're the
note
one
from
missing out on
Inspector
money for
Lestrade.
not taking these
A letter
tests.
from the suburbs. He is in need of my presence.
Whenever he has asked for my assistance, it has always turned out to be entirely justified.
There's a dude down there.
I fancy that every one of his cases has found its way into your collection.
Yes, they all seem worthy of...
However, I regret your fatal habit of looking at everything from the point of view of a story instead of a scientific exercise.
Scientific.
Holmes, you...
I beg your pardon, I digress. It would be much better to examine this letter than to try to convince you.
Read this letter. Oh, we're gonna check it again. Bionic, I saw you made a clip from the first time I looked in this telescope. I didn't see it the night you did it, but I was going through my each day,
on the table.
and I was like, "Ha, woohoo! Hey, buddy."
You're disgusting.
The letter
You're
is on the
disgusting.
table, Holmes. You should...
Smell. It smells good. It smells good.
No, quit.
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
It's on this table.
My analysis table.
Nope, wrong
It
table.
is useful for my work.
How many tables do we have here?
The letter is on the table, Holmes. You should take a look.
He's got 15 table. So he wanted a job when it was, yeah, exactly. Well, and not just that, but like
The letter is on the table,
he,
Holmes. You should
you know,
take
like,
a
and I
look.
wasn't even mad that he left. Like, I understand leaving for more money, you know, and maybe he'd have better opportunities. I mean, but at one point, you know, I told him, I said, you know, if you, oh, look at
The
that.
letter is on the table.
I said, you could be a manager here. You know, you're responsible enough. You do enough of the stuff. And, I was like, but you have to level up. Like, you have to know what's going on. I have to
The
know
letter is
that
on
you
the
know.
table, Holmes. You...
And he was like, I know, I get nervous about it. I'm like, just take it. It's not that hard. And then, you know, like I said, I'm not even mad that he left for more money. I'm just mad that he wouldn't do
The
what he needed
Brackenshaw
to
family
make more
coat
money
of
with me.
arms.
And then, but now that they're shorthanded, now he wants to, I'm just like, I mean, I kind of get it, but you also
A wax seal.
burned a
with the
bridge with me.
monogram
Like you,
EB.
he was the opener and no one was there till 1 o'clock and he didn't call. He just didn't show up. My 1 o'clock person who didn't have a key because they're not an opener called us and they were like, hey, no one's here. It's 1 o'clock. We've been open for 2 hours. Like, thanks. You didn't call
I can tell from
anybody.
Lestrade's handwriting.
He could
that
even
was in
just
a
said, I'm
hurry
not
when
going
he
to work
wrote this
anymore.
letter.
That would have been better. Dear Mr. Holmes, I should be glad of your immediate oh, you're dancing over there. Immediate assistance in what promises to be the most remarkable case. It is something quite in your line. Except for releasing the lady, I will see that everything is kept exactly as I found it, but I beg you not to lose an instant, as it is difficult to leave Sir Eustace there. Yours faithfully. Oh, look, there's our other souvenir.
So, what is it, Holmes?
Promising, as always. It appears to be a case of murder.
Murder.
So you believe that Sir Eustace is dead?
I should say so. Lestrade wouldn't have sent for me for less. His writing shows considerable agitation, and he is not an emotional man. These people belong to high society. The quality of the writing paper, the EB monogram, their coat of arms.
The crime was committed before midnight.
Holmes, how can you possibly tell?
Well, it is all thanks to Lestrade. He wrote his letter at 3:30 in the morning. Imagine the chain of events before that. The local police had to be called in. Scotland Yard was notified. Lestrade himself had to make haste there, and finally compose the letter he sent to me. All of that makes for a fair night's work.
It makes sense. Lestrade also speaks of the woman he released.
That seems to indicate that she had been held somewhere during the crime.
Much time has been wasted. Let us find a cab and go to Abbey Grange immediately.
The entire game.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The files every single time.
Yeah, it goes back through and like checks it for any errors.
which is fine if it was fast. But the game's sizable enough that literally it's been going for 15, 20 minutes and it's only 40% done.
Right.
Which isn't bad, but like I started it at like 12:45. I started that download.
Right.
105 now, and we're not even halfway.
Yeah, exactly. You aren't going to start playing till 1:30.
No.
Abbey Grange. Yeah, so I was a little frustrated by it. Just because, and then like I said, we haven't even heard from him since he left. You know, like one of the girls has seen him since then, and then my daughter talks to him every once in a while through like Snapchat or whatever.
Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
Oh,
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the three Randalls?
Exactly. The father and two sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
his
A
own poker.
violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair.
Oh boy.
But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid to raise her right.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
All right.
Very good, Watson.
Inspect the room where Lady Brackenstall is resting.
Lord Ramsay Brackenstall. Sir Warthen Brackenstall.
Interesting. Whoa. Just busts in the door like he owns the place.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
Interesting.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
What happened last night? She got a pretty good shiner on her.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
Yeah, tell me again.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Oh boy.
Please, go on.
As I approached
me.
the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
Boom.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder
I
one,
missed
struck
something.
him a terrible blow with the poker. I
Get it?
fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Something
Did
missing.
these three villains steal anything?
I thought I meant from her story.
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
All that for some silver? Oof. Fresh bruises. Gold brooch. Yeah, I didn't take her gold. Didn't take that. A bruise on her hand. Old bruises.
So, all the eggs.
wedding salon. They didn't steal any of her jewelry. Just her,
Eggs to get. Look at all of them.
just her
That's a lot of eggs.
silver.
That's all free stuff.
Not bad.
Not bad.
There it was.
Yeah. Did you have to buy any Robux for it or anything?
No.
Nice.
Key and observer, not a happy marriage.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
Just so my husband beat me.
Not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but
You
nothing
go
else.
through it, does it take you there?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. When
Nice.
you...
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Hi, buddy.
Oh, do you? Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
Oh, don't say stuff like that out loud.
Your ladyship?
I was talking the game. I was
Teresa,
talking to the game.
I would like to hear your testimony.
Money.
Certainly, sir. As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw 3 men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. If I'd known...
And then?
I went to
Was
bed.
it normal?
And it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
That's all I know. She have any bruises? She has wrinkles. It's not fair, is it? Vinegar smell. Coffee. I was like, is that blood?
Are you not?
Oh, right there. Nope. Working hands. Okay. I always miss one, and it's like always in a weird spot, so I almost miss it.
Get there.
Good times. Family and business booming. The Randall gang is back on the street less than a fortnight ago. The infamous family of burglars, the Randalls, as they are known, made their reappearance by way of a brutal but successful intrusion into one of the wealthier homes in Sydenham. The police are already on their trail. This team readers about this highly dangerous broad. Their elder Jack Randall is a man in his 40s. He kind of convenient, huh? He retains control over his sons, both of whom are close in age but very different in appearance. William is tall, broad shoulders, with a small and disproportionate head. That's funny. The younger brother, Melvin, is somewhat weaker constitution and is as skinny as a rake. The gang wanted not only for their frequent thefts and break-ins, but for their exceptionally brutal pirate career they enjoyed before returning to England. Kind of
The
convenient that
description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. The robbery is fake and the whole story invented in order to blame Sir Eustace's death on the Randalls. The test. That's where we're going right now. I don't trust her. She has a husband that beat her.
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
There it is.
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
May I open your safe? Hint, hint. Hamana.
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it.
Gimme.
Your ladyship?
Now, I wonder if we can open it.
Let us try to open this safe.
Yes.
This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
What? Oh, A.
Oh! Someone drumstick.
Oh, did it? Hold on, I just screwed up.
Maybe they like randomly. Someone might say
Gotta get all the way back around.
they fail.
Damn it. Like 5 point or 4.6.
Flip down. Flip down.
You can do it. Come on. Oh, shit. 17. 17. You guys been gaming any today? Bionic, you been playing any games? I know Lizard beat Borderlands 3. Medical report. So uses your current physical and mental state is of great concern. There are several signs of hepatic decomposition. Persona 5R and Apex. Nice. How far into Persona are you? The last time that it's a completely no. It's a remake of Apex. The last time we met, your eyes were bloodshot and your skin was tinged with yellow. This particular odor. You're at the last palace already? Holy crap. This common suffering from liver damage. Then there were the lung abscesses that we have discussed, the leg cramps you have described. This dude's falling apart. Inspect the crime scene, okay.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care. Antique coin. It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
Right?
What? Flip down.
Photograph. We're taking this. Let's see, two
This
women.
photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one?
Is it normal for... Rock of Gibraltar?
So the lady and her maid came from Australia a year and a half ago on this ship.
We just take it. Mine. He just kind of takes whatever the hell he wants. That woman is lying.
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when
Everyone
he was drunk.
knows when you're a
Such
drunk.
moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
He was a bad
To
man.
the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
She did that just today. She's playing Killer on DVD. Nice. Is she winning?
Baron Lyndon Brackenstall.
Lyndon. Oh.
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
I just got chills.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no
he
other
got
apparent injuries.
bumped. He got canogied.
I stole my chicken bone.
Come out here in a minute.
Oh, my chicken bone.
Antique hunting weapons.
Oh, come on. This is a Pac-Man. Oh, it's not Pac-Man.
The hunting seed.
We'll go to the body last. Ooh, what is this?
These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France.
France.
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also
See, I'm
stolen.
telling you, she had her old man.
An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents.
And left it perfectly in place. How nice of them. They made a big old mess, though. There's a silver plate on the floor.
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
That was very nice of them.
A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed.
Well.
Chateau Calon Ségur. French wine.
Can y'all say that?
Cru.
Grand Cru.
Coronavirus.
This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing.
Beeswing.
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured.
What about this one?
This glass has some wine traces, but
I did
no
add you,
visible
even
beeswing.
though feet
It
are
is rather
disgusting.
strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two.
What did you
are
add him
clear.
on? And are those his feet? At least it wasn't the donut. Okay.
Volcano?
Sir Eustace was violent. Oh, thank you, Captain Obvious. Sir Eustace was. Oh, we did that one already. We want this one. Three people. There were three people drinking wine out of these glasses. One of the three probably prefers wine with beeswing. There are two people drinking wine out of these glasses. The remaining glass with the beeswing solely of dregs. And the other two. That'd be 5 duelers. Duelers. So there's the two people or three. We're gonna say 3 for now. Oh. It doesn't like that.
Yeah.
If we'll stick with this. Okay, we knew that wasn't gonna work. Duelers. I'm broke. My life. My
Barefoot. He had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress.
He didn't. Oh, look at that. There's blood all over the place.
Quite a large stick. A formidable weapon.
Drumsticks. Oh. Drumstick 3 drumsticks.
That must be the murder weapon.
Why is it? They're not gonna hit him in the face. That we'll get there in a minute.
Oh.
Oh,
The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
son of a... Ooh, that would hurt.
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
It would hurt like hell, that's for sure. Oh, not you. Deadly accident. The death of Sir Eustace could have been due to his accidentally striking head. I don't think so. He was struck down. Could have been accident. No. I think he got smashed. Oh, you think they got him drunk? Hold on, let's go. Oh, back. Back out. I'm such a dingo. Can we look at this again? Is there blood on this?
That must be the murder weapon.
Yeah, look at that splatter. There's no way he... Oh. Did you ever watch Dexter? The, about the guy who does the blood splatter stuff? And then... I love the show. So we used to watch it a bunch.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
Not the cartoon. The it was a series on Showtime, I think. And it was about a guy who worked for the police department that was like a blood splatter analyst. And he would take stuff like that blood off of that, and be able to tell you he was hit with this, blah blah blah. But he was also a
fur trader's cabin,
a serial killer.
Beating on the death of my sword.
So he was using his in at the police department to hunt down other serial killers, and he would murder them.
a deer hunt.
Have any more of these? That's the only one. Oh, I was like, what's on the floor? Although I do love Dexter's laboratory. You are a crazy woman.
The death was instant.
Alright, so let's...
One more drum.
Am I missing something in the dining room? Oh, right there. There's the rope. That's...
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me.
Go find Toby.
This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
Toby. Collect Toby. Come here, boy. Boy. Come here, Bubba.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
We're going back to here. Look at him. His wrinkled feet.
No! You gotta be kidding me. I died right when there was a drumstick.
I love drumsticks.
Search, Toby.
Oh, look. Open this door. Open the door. Good boy. He's a good boy. Follow the path all the way out. We're winning.
Did it. Good job, I required it.
Oh, nice.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
Oh, very nice.
I've got 4. 4, only like 36 more to go.
Good grief. We should probably do that tomorrow then. Oh, they put something in there. They put something inside.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
Can we trade? Okay, no, we're gonna come back. So we have 3 places to go now. It's about a cop serial killer killing serial killers. It's pretty good. We got to like the 3rd season.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Why? Well, now we're about to go find out. Open the well.
There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
Put Toby in it.
I need a hook. If only I had something with which I could lift that object.
Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back.
This hook might be useful.
There you go.
Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest.
I have to follow this trail.
Are you talking to me? Oh, I'm sorry. I have headphones on. I can hear you. You have to follow this trail.
Follow this trail. And find Guy and do his quest. And
This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty.
Nice.
Oh, here he is.
Hello. What are you doing?
I have a quest for you.
Wow, 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 wow.
There's something.
Let's look up here. There we go. Good catch. It's just so easy.
Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence.
What are the odds?
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It
How
appears that
easy.
we have found the stolen silverware.
Perfect. So a man died for nothing. Robbery is confirmed as motive for the crime. The criminals may have plans to return. So Eustace was murdered by the one person who was visiting that night. It was he who tied up Lady Brackenstall. He is tall and strong. Now, but It's her brother. Does she have a brother? Let's see. Inspect the crime scene. Oh, we've already done that, but maybe this will make it done. There's always like one thing I miss. Say that.
A fur trader's cabin.
Bottles. Check those. Usually when it's still white, that means there's something left to do.
An empty silver.
Usually. But apparently not this time. Chair, we examine that. Check those.
A hunter scene.
It's why is he looking off the pictures like this? It's weird. I have
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes.
Mr.
And where is
Holmes.
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Exactly. Who? What if we go? Let's go talk to what's her face again.
Lord George Brackenstall.
I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to add all the pictures of my family and my walls.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall.
That's weird.
It had
Like, why would you do that?
Very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
Talk to her again.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behavior.
He was a bad man.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise.
Oh?
It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage.
First time there.
She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was specially hard for her.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Indeed I am. No personal life. Lady Brackenstall married Sir Eustace shortly after arriving in England and remained at home during that time. There's little possibility that she or her maid are acquainted with anyone in the country. Acquainted with a sailor?
I did it, Dad. On it.
Good job.
I like that I'm doing these quick. Because I
I don't like when it doesn't match.
I'm glad I'm doing them quick.
Right?
Okay, what's next?
Was that
What was that?
Teresa?
Death Run. Ooh, I like really good.
Lord Brigham Brackenstall.
Brigham Bracken?
The Brackenstall family seems rather austere.
Everybody's gone. Inspect the crime scene. Inspector Holmes is an urgent late night. In the dining room. I have to be missing something. Hit E again. That it says it's done. Okay, nothing. Feet, head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
No!
Yes. Like, how come none of this stuff was stolen?
Okay.
This door.
Find and collect 15 energy cores. Come back to review. Wait. Play around with Death Run.
Let's see.
Find and collect 15 energy cores. Come back.
There you go. Yelling at the TV over there. Always something I'm missing.
I'm back right here. I messed it up. I got too greedy. I'm back here.
Nope, T.
The hunting scene.
Easy.
Like, why are all the pictures? The bell was used to use that.
Chateau.
Oh. See?
Oh!
Check this one with the... Figured there'd be something in it. Or across the top, maybe, you know? Like, were they drunk from it? Nope. Like fingerprints, maybe, you know? But it shows it done, so...
There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been... There is bee...
Okay, the decanter.
A decanter.
What are we missing? Liz, is this the one that you like so much? Oh, the next one's the one you like. You thought it was a really, really good,
Oh gosh! No!
Bro. This is all done.
No! That was a little awkward.
Empty.
That was really awkward. I died on the first obstacle. I died on the first
I hate when that
jump.
happens. I hate when that happens. Let's see. I feel like we're missing. We gotta be missing something, right? It's not letting us go any farther. Let's check. Actually, you know what? Let's check this stuff. Perform analysis. Baker Street. Hey, all these are good. Okay, that's what we're missing right there. Who are you? Lady Brackenstall. Not quite 25, wealthy Australian family Married for a little more than a year. She has, in all probability, suffered physical violence over the course of the last fortnight. Oh. Alright, here we go. Here we go again. Oops, sorry. That was no good-o. Examine.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope.
Let's try scissors first.
The fibers from this cut appear to be different.
Alright, what else we got? Oh.
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Okay, so that's a good thing, right? The rope was cut with a sharp knife and tied quickly in sailor's knots that could indicate the intruder had a sailor's background. Think it has anything to do with our other case? Probably a sailor. That's all the clues on that. Search for possible sailor suspects.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Oh, really sorry about that. I guess we could go to the archives. Rock of Gibraltar, 1893. Thank you. Why did he turn like that? Chemistry. $1893. Rock of Gibraltar. Rock of Gibraltar. A bulk carrier from the Adelaide Southampton London line. The ship brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the heiress of Fraser family, owning land and tin mines in Australia. This reportedly beautiful young lady is presently engaged to Sir Eustace Bracketsaw, one of the wealthiest men in
Here
Kent.
it is.
Mm-hmm. All right. Address the Rock of Gibraltar. Ship owner. We can find the crew list. We're gonna have to change.
The shipping company, the Adelaide Southampton London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
The Rock of
I
Gibraltar.
think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
That was weird. It had a little action button at the top. We're gonna change. Hi, sailor. Bandit farmer morning.
What?
I can't get the sailor outfit.
That's not fair. Brutal.
Gray suit.
Watson, I need Wiggins.
Well,
Is he anywhere nearby?
He's right across the street. You can give him a sign from the window.
Wiggins. Oh, I forgot about Wiggins. His little partner. No, I didn't do that. One quick view.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
He just drops everything. What would we all do for a Wiggins?
your service, Mr. Holmes?
I got another one.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Ooh,
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
3 hours later. Boom.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Hey, like literally after that when you're done. Come on, man.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
All right, Charles Chill, Archibald James Henry.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Ernest J. Woods.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
AJ, Nathan, Samuel.
I do not think that this sailor has...
Departure from Adelaide, Archibald. Charles Chill.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Oh my.
Jack Crocker. Thomas Walker, William Partledge, Herbert. There he is.
I do not think that this sailor has any connection to the case. This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Oh, wrong Herbert. Jack, Thomas, and Herbert. Jack Crocker, there we go.
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Buddy.
Kind of.
Thomas Walker and Herbert Whittington.
Yes, look at my color.
Thomas Walker.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. This officer is still at sea.
There we go.
Therefore he cannot be involved.
Oh
Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He
Here
was
we
the
go.
only one around at the time of the murder.
All right, now call Crocker to confront him. Come here, buddy.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
We're gonna do this again.
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Sometime later. More or less than 3 hours.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Why?
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Oh, Lady Brackenstall.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her, from when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Oh.
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
Whoa.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, All of this is just
Besides,
guesswork.
He's guessing.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Okay, here the fun part. There's a knife somewhere. There's got to be. Clear look, honest. Ooh, strong build, big muscles.
Why is this guy following?
Oh, huh, why are we looking at his junk?
It's his eyes.
Oh, it's him. He's ugly. Yup. Oh, newspaper ink. He has been reading the paper. Clean boots. Welcome. What was that show? Fletch. Bend over. Hey, how you doing, Ben? Why? Clean boots. Kind of a weird. Oh, there's the knife. See knife.
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
Sailor boy.
You call that evidence?
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot.
A
Your
sailor's
handiwork.
knot.
So,
I was in that picture over
it's
there
a
in the
sailor
background.
who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
A porthole?
At night.
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Your buddy.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Ooh, Mr. Pissy
Holmes,
Pants.
what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No, there is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the
Here we
puzzle
go.
pieces.
This one may be kind of quick.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
His statement says his involvement is clear. He appeared as soon as he heard I was looking for him, thus signaling his guilt. I mean, if you thought he was guilty, would you go? But maybe you're trying to show that you're innocent, so that's why you go. You're like, look, I'm here. If I was guilty, I wouldn't be here. Oh, by the way, and he's a sailor, so I'm sure it's used to being pounded. You know what they say boats are full of, right? Seamen. He appeared as soon. Oh wait, Crocker thought Captain Crocker was aboard the Sharp. No, he wasn't there. It was this fool.
Where's the egg?
The captain is the killer. They're pounding. I got an error and didn't get to see the convo. The captain of the ship, Captain Crocker. Never mind. How come the moment we start talking about anus, Candy shows up? She's like, what are we talking about? Jack Crocker is a murderer and will bring him. Nice, sounds exciting. That's why you're our people. Jack Crocker is a murderer and you will bring him and his accomplice, Lady Brackenstall, to justice. The murder was committed in self-defense. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and maniacal man. Mystery is solved, but you decide to keep it secret. There's no need to inform the police. So at what point is murder okay? Like, it would technically change the story, or it could change because there's like an overlying arc, right? So do we say murder's murder and then he's going down, Or do we say he was watching his woman getting beat and he didn't appreciate that? And they set it up to look like, let's be nice. I want to see what happens if we're nice. You better get
Wiggins,
this.
could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
He looks like he's been beat up too. Right away.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
You love her.
This one has to be one
It's
of the
true.
hardest to get.
It is time for you to tell us the whole
Physics
truth.
of basic control.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me
Oh,
everything,
I knew the maid was
I was
involved.
insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He
Up here.
was not even worthy of licking her boots.
Licking her
Oh, I
boots.
regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Everyone's
Lady
saying, where's
Brackenstall
the,
already forgave you. She
everyone's
said
saying, I don't
nothing.
know.
Mary.
No one knows where this.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Oh boy.
Mr. Holmes,
You would not have managed to protect her.
till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do.
She just let you tie her up because she.
Now it is
enjoyed
time
it.
to end this.
Wait, what are you doing? Oh shit. Oh, flip, 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 flip. Oh, it's gonna make me do a game. I don't like that. I have to tap it. There we go. Was he gonna kill himself?
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my
That made me nervous.
expectations.
I look naked in this
See
thing.
here, Captain Crocker. We'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury.
No.
Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty.
Not guilty,
Guys
my
on it.
lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
Mr.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in
Oh,
the
what a
judgment
nice- we're
which
such
we
nice
have
people.
pronounced this night.
You're such nice people. We're gonna look in that telescope
Inspector,
again, though.
I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye,
We're gonna
Inspector.
set somebody else up. Bum bum bum. So Eustace was murdered by Captain Jack Crocker, who was visiting Lady Brackenstall that night. It staged as a robbery by the Randall gang. Crocker used a sea knife to cut the bell rope to tie the lady and then hid the silverware in the well. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent maniacal man. You have decided to keep it a secret. Clues found 16. That one went quick. Absolve. Yes, we did. I like that. Yes. Neutral. People solved the case the same way, 93%. People made the same. Oh, look at that. There's a lot of nice people out there. Bump. And look, it's 2 o'clock. Achievement unlocked. Vox Populi, Vox Die. Day. Ouch. That hurt. We'll start this to this point. We're gonna get an earlier start on this one tomorrow.
Egg is not here. I don't know where you get it.
I don't know. I really do want to quit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a good night. I'm going to call it a night since the last 2 nights I stayed up way longer than I should have. Trying to get this dude to bed. Craziness. Yeah, you guys have a good night. Be safe out there. Watch out for each other. Don't get into any trouble. Candy, I'm looking at you on that one. Yeah, hopefully you'll have a good day tomorrow. Weather's good. Nice rainstorms maybe. Wash your hands. Look, I never get into trouble. I'm an innocent little angel. Heck yeah, y'all, thanks for hanging out with me again. You guys are awesome. And we're closer to finishing this one, so we get to knock another game out for a while. So we may play a little bit of we may start a little I'll get down in a second. Tomorrow's not, jeez, the stream tomorrow night, we will probably start out with some Fortnite. No, maybe Fortnite and then some Apex. It depends on, we gotta get some Fortnite in with this dude, and then Apex with that dude, and then we'll jump into this. So maybe a little, try to mix it up a little bit. I know this thing's kind of long to watch, so try and keep it interesting for you guys. So you guys have a good night. Be good, be safe, have fun.
Peace. Peace.